and they put together the track again. And because this is such an important moment, definitely in this time, and definitely also in the nowadays political climate. I really want to welcome you and listen to what this wise man has to say. And I would like to say to everybody, have a great, great, great Amsterdam Dance Event 2009. Thank you.
Thank you. Chuck, I'm very honored to be the one to actually speak to you. I must say, as an introduction, that the first time I heard your voice was in this huge club, and it felt really profound. And I think everybody must have had that feeling at least once when they first heard this. And I thought this must be some sort of preacher man whom you paid to say this. And I was like, I never realized that it would be just a show guy like us. And so when I first came here, I was like a little bit starstruck. But I think we're all very interested to hear the story behind what you were saying at the time, and what you're going to be re-releasing as well. And I thought let's start with how you grew up. You grew up in Chicago,
I did. It's ironic that you would mention that you thought it was some great preacher man that they found someone and paid a lot of money. Well, they didn't pay him a lot of money, but the preacher man is actually pretty accurate, because I grew up in the church, and I am actually a licensed and ordained minister. So when you hear that thing, my sound, my house is inspired from the church, because I have a gospel background. So that's, you hear a lot of that in there.
Should I give you the mic as well? Yeah. Do you guys hear it enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to give it the mic.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. You're an ordained minister.
Yes.
Can you? How did you end up in making music then?
Well, just like I said, the record music is universal. So I've been in music my whole life. I started as a kid singing in the church at about 6 years old, and was in church pretty much most of my life, doing the choirs and the praise team and the worship leader and that type of situation. So I've always been involved in music, choirs in high school and the whole nine. So that's kind of like how I came into this. But church is actually my background. But music is diverse. And it has a lot of different facets, and I just kind of ended up in this. And house music, I embraced house music because it's a lot of different reasons, but mainly I like beats, bars, bass, and hooks. And house music has all those in it.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about the budding house scene, very early house scene in Chicago? How did you get involved in that?
Well, I used to try to, this is going to kind of like not tear it out a little bit, but I used to try to be a DJ, Terry, at a club called the Factory back in the late 80s, and I was just hanging around those guys. And it was a lot of different cultures, a lot of different people from all kinds of backgrounds, all races and stuff coming together. And I was just fascinated by that this music could bring all these people together, and this is one common factor, a common denominator that they all had. And I was impressed by that and kind of intrigued and pulled into that. Even being from the church, I knew that, we promoted togetherness, but it seemed like this music, this house music, was doing a great job with people of all walks of life, and I was just thoroughly impressed with that.
Yeah, was it in fact, if you listen to the speech, it has a lot of talk of equality, Jews and Gentiles, blacks, whites, everything. Was it something that was representing the scene at the time, or was it more like a mission statement, like it should be like that, or was it a very open scene that really involved everybody into it?
I would fair to say that it was probably a bit of both. I think it covered the whole situation, a bit of both. It brought a lot of people, and like you said, it stated about diversity. But I think the main thing it is house music in itself just has the ability to bring people together of all nations and all colors and all backgrounds. That's one of the perks of house music.
Why is that, you think?
Well, to answer that intelligently, I just think music is universal, and everybody gravitates to music. Music is the link between all people. That's what I think. That's just me. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but that's what I think.
I think you might have a point. Hey, when you made the speech, did you ever think that it was going to be like a, well, you probably didn't think it was going to be the anthem to start all this stuff, but or how did you have like an idea that you wanted to make a sort of like a mission statement for the house music scene, or?
I had no idea that this song would take on the identity that it took on. I had no idea that it would reach the heights. Of course, I'm humbled by that, and it's been a privilege to be a part of something like that. But no, I didn't have an idea in the beginning. What we were doing is the producer, which has passed away, he called me one night about 2 o'clock in the morning and was saying like, Chuck, I have an idea, and I think that you would probably be able to pull this across. So I went out to the studio and I heard the track, and I was like, yeah, this is really nice. He said, I was saying, so what do you think? And he was saying, well, I know that you have a background from the church, and I need someone to come forward and speak the truth. But what I need to be done is I need for someone to explain, give an explanation what house music means to you, and try to, bring it out to the masses, put it out to the masses, and explain, give them an explanation of what you feel house music is. And of course, I could do that from hanging around the clubs and seeing the effect that it was having on people. So actually what I did is I just gave what I thought and what I felt, what it meant to me and what I thought that it would be able to get across to other people.
Yeah. Did you, was it something you just went there and just did it, or did you really think about the content of the?
No,
or was it already in your head? It could be.
You probably won't believe this. It wasn't in my head. It wasn't in my head, but it was in my heart, because that's what again, it's a feeling. And we actually, not bragging, but we actually did it in 5 takes. So I actually spoke it before I wrote it. So we did it in 5 takes. I was listening to it and I was saying like, yeah, this is what it means to me. It's a feeling. It's an uncontrollable desire. It makes me want to dance. Makes me want to jack. That type of situation. So yeah, it just came into fruition from my heart.
Yeah, I guess that's why it sounds so spontaneous, right? About the jacking, who's Jack? Everybody's always.
Who is Jack? Jack is the one that gives you the power to do the snare.
I thought so. How do I do that? Yeah. No, but I mean, the jacking. Can you say something about that? What that?
A style of dancing, and really, what Jack is the feeling. Jack is the emotion. Jack is the one that provides the go in house music.
Yeah.
So is Jack a person? Well, Jack could be you. Whatever you want to put into it. Jack could be her, him. It's just that emotion, that vibe, that creativity, the go in the music. That's what Jack and who Jack is. Now you want to know what Jack does?
Well, yeah. All right. Yeah. So, got me on that one. No, not at all. After you did the rhythm control record, you got into other types of music, or you were doing more R&B stuff, right?
Yeah, I was doing some R&B stuff, and we did some gospel stuff, but obviously, like all things of nature, we returned back to what we know. And house music was just in my blood. It was in my veins. So even after, we had a few kind of successful things in R&B, and don't get me wrong, I like all kinds of music, but there's no music like house music. So it kind of just drew me back into it.
Amen.
Yeah. But I mean, and you were just telling me you were kind of living out of a suitcase in Chicago. What was?
I was living in Chicago, but we was traveling. We was doing stuff in Houston. We was doing stuff in LA. I had an opportunity to produce for a kid on death row, Danny Boy. Just living out of a suitcase, and that's pretty much what I was doing.
Are you still living out of a suitcase, or are you kind of settled down now?
No, I was actually blessed to get a house, so I do have a home. So not living out of a suitcase. Well, not right this minute.
So the originator of house finally has a house.
Absolutely.
So, all right. I mean, as you were doing all those things, you were, into other, dabbling into other types of music. Were you aware? I mean, you must have been of the impact of that record.
Kind of, sort of, but not really. I was hearing things, but so involved in the projects that I was in, I didn't really pay strict attention to it, that what was going on, the things that were going on. But I kind of had an inkling, but I had no idea how massive it had become.
No, you know, at the time, obviously I mean, always in America, it's been a rough political situation with a lot of inequality. Do you think that in the 30 years that have passed since then, that something has changed, or is it still a lot of inequality?
Well, I think that's going to be an ongoing battle. You know, to say where it has gone from then to now would be, I don't know if I'm in a position to say if it's changed much. I would say that it's changed some, but I really think that it's an ongoing battle. But as long as we can bring these things together, as long as we can keep people in the house, on the dance floor, jacking to the music, I think we can get some things done.
That's good, yeah. Do you think that also, about the people in the house, Derek Carter, also from Chicago, he said online in some interview, he said something about where are the blacks, where are the gays, about the clubs these days. That a lot of the music that's been promoted here has been you know, targeted at well, guys like me, white heterosexual males. A lot of talk about these guys these days. No, but I mean, do you think that there is still room enough for diversity in today's club scene?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm not really familiar with that.
Yeah, with that interview.
I'm not really familiar with that, but in my opinion, I definitely think there's room for diversity. Absolutely. Okay.
To talk about your new record, because you're actually gonna. Why now? Actually, why after 30 years you're gonna redo re-release?
Because I've been afforded a privilege that a lot of people would love to have, but they don't get, and I just feel like it's a blessing from God. I was able to connect with a group of guys who are a great group of guys, and they are extremely talented. I mean, we've got, man, one of the best producers on this side of heaven. I get a chance to work with the Chosen Few and the great Terry Hunter. So who could turn down an opportunity like that?
Yeah, yeah. Is there something? What does your ADE look like? It's your first time here, right?
Right.
How does it feel to be in a city like Amsterdam and everything is evolving around?
Man,
what you guys were doing 30 years ago?
Wow, that's a tough question. I'm humbled by the situation, and I'm just blessed to be in it, and I'm loving every minute of it, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen next, because this has been amazing.
Yeah, well, I think there's someone who wants to give you something. Is Richard in the building? In the house, I should say. Sorry. Wait, I'll make some room.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, we make it simple. We already did some practice before. So I want to open officially ADE this year by handing over the ADE Cube to Chuck Robert.
Yeah!